Hello and welcome from the sanctity of my bedroom because HRH, of course, fell asleep in the closet, so I can't do the live stream from in there. But I wanted to say hi. I'm broadcasting to more places than I usually do because I miss everybody really, really badly. And what I had to say tonight, as I get ready to assume all my platforms again in a couple weeks, I figured might as well have as broad of an audience as possible. So, if you've been following along on the blog, which, by the way, has, if you have our app, if you go and update it, you should see that the blog function is finally working again. Thank you very much, Wix. If you've been following on the blog or on my personal Facebook page, you might have seen that I've been going through some really wild health issues, which is weird to talk about. It feels like I've been complaining about my health ever since I got pregnant with a beautiful child who is almost 4.5 now and starts ECE4 in the fall. How did that happen? How in the world is Violet so big? But she is. And it feels like ever since I got pregnant with her almost 5 years ago, I've been complaining about things going wrong with my body. And it's easy to blame that on her, but we recently, why wouldn't we blame it on her? Actually, she's HRH. She takes no blame. That's why we call her HRH. It's been a real journey trying to get to the bottom of it. And up until about 3 months ago, I had been able to push through it to a certain degree. Because remember, I developed this whole 140 thing. I'm not the first person who thought of it, but the way that I presented it, my first client was me. And I hated it. But nothing else had been working. And nothing else, it was out of a sense of I'm going to do this thing that I really shouldn't be doing. It was a marathon. What is the safest way for me to get prepared for it? And that is where all of this came from. And I was walking a lot that year. That was 2013. And to be back sort of in that place again is really challenging. But I'm doing it with blue hair, which is amazing. I love this new color, by the way. If it seems like I'm looking odd at the camera, it's because I'm entranced by this new shade in my hair that my kids put on my head last night. It's our new Saturday night activity. But anyway, it's funny to look back on all that and remember where I was physically and mentally at that time, because my running journey had been so interrupted, and to sort of be there again where I want to do more, but I can't. There for a couple months last year, I'm like, well, my heart rate and blood pressure is not coming down no matter what I do. So I'm going to do what I want to do whenever I can. And I got by with that for about 4 months. But then everything just sort of, my body was like a hard stop there. Like, no, you will not. And even then I tell you that to tell you this, point number one, because it's hard for you doesn't mean like there's something wrong with you. It is hard in general. Running more slowly, moving more slowly than you want to go in any given moment is the hardest thing you will ever do as a runner. And it is the hardest thing that I have done over and over again. And to be here again now is really humbling. And it's frankly, it's a more than a little weird, but I'm going to talk through it as much as I can, owning my mistakes and my failures, whatever interests you, but just trying to give some sort of guidance in hopes that the things that I say to myself, the things that I believe, the things I know to be true, might help someone out there who isn't doing the thing that they want to do, whether because they want to and can't, or because they've fallen out of the habit and it's hard to recreate that habit, or you just don't have the energy. So what I want to talk about is walking. Walking is something I'm doing a whole lot of these days. On a good day, I'll get 5 miles, and those 5 miles no longer take a whole lot out of me. But that's the reason that's 5 miles, is that it takes me, if I'm paying attention and my heart rate isn't too high, then I can get about an hour and 20 minutes. And that's a chapter in one of the books that I've been listening to. As the person, right, who has been telling her runners forever, please do not run with headphones. It's dangerous. I'm not running with headphones. I'm walking with them. I walk as much as I can. If you are interested right now, I'm listening to Under the Banner of Heaven as I get ready to catch up on all the episodes of Andrew Garfield playing in the new Hulu series. So that's where I'm at. And I have one of the things that I have forgotten, because the first time I went for a walk, it wiped me out. I mean, even though I'm the coach and I talk about this all the time, it's being outside that long. I had gone from doing a lot of my workouts inside on a Peloton to I literally don't have enough energy. It is too hard to press the pedals around. So I need to walk. and then, or even walking felt overwhelming. So to get back to a place where I can walk, I'm not ready to get on the bike yet because I'm afraid, again, the mental health is a component we got to pay attention to, right? So if I get on I don't want to get on the bike until I know I have enough energy to do a workout, because if I get on it and have to get off again, that's going to hurt my feelings. And I'm not in a place right now where I need to add more insult to the very obvious injury that I'm carrying around. So with that, with walking, that is a whole workout. It is a whole workout. You're in the sun. Being in the sun is exposure, and we know that's hard because of spring. It is, you're in motion and you're bearing your body's weight on your ankles. One of the reasons that that this whole idea of 10,000 steps a day became a thing was not just about getting up and moving, but it kind of gets at the three. I love you. I'm live streaming. You got to put that away, plug it in. Thank you. And then shut the door on the way out, please. Some things will never change. I love you. Thank you. Shut. Okay. When they don't shut it, like all the others rush in. It's like they've been denied so much for so long. But as I was saying, so what we talk about when we try to encourage people to run, if you've ever to walk, if ever you've been in a place where someone was trying to encourage you into just going for a walk, there are three things that we're looking at when we're trying to reestablish any semblance of motion. And that one, we're looking at lung function. So not specifically like how efficient are you, but the more you move, the more you are ambulatory, if to use a fancy word for you, which again is locomotion, meaning your feet are doing, are responsible for that motion, for getting you to move. So you're bearing your body's weight on your ankles, 1, moving your body forward with your feet, 2, and 3, breathing while you do it. You know, it would be really hard to do not breathing. I know that sounds funny, but when we talk about lung function, what we're talking about is cardiovascular strain. So you can be super fit and not be able to do very much with your lungs. That's usually, those are usually asthmatics, but you'd be surprised if you've ever had trouble climbing stairs or climbed stairs, got to the top and found yourself wheezing. Part of that, it's easy to be like, I'm really out of shape, but that climbing the stairs, that is a very different strain on your cardiovascular system. And what's closest to that? Running, jogging. Climbing upstairs, changing that plane of motion is one of the reasons why when I have a runner coming back from injury, I beg them as much as they can, whenever they can, to say the best thing we can do to get you ready for your return. If you can't afford a Pilates chair, which who can, they're like $1,200. But if you can afford one or can find one on sale, great, grab it. It's terrific. One of the best workouts you could possibly get. But we encourage them to climb stairs or to walk in places where stairs would be available. And that is why it's where we need to replicate the cardiovascular strain, 1, while your feet are carrying your body's weight, 2, and 3. Why number 2 matters is because that is going to adapt your tendons, joints, and your ligaments to that motion once more, so that when you're able to run again, when everything else has come together, it'll be a lot easier than if you just wake up one day and decide to go for a run, like so many of us have decided to do after a long time away. So I tell you all of that to be like, walking is not a half-ass workout. It is a whole-ass workout. And it is, all the same rules apply when you go out. I really want you to take a deep breath, lock your cage. According to if you follow us on Instagram, you probably, hopefully you would have seen the Thursday coaching tip where I am huffing and puffing in the middle of a walk, saying like, hey guys, this is a whole workout. Look at this lung function as I struggle to catch my breath. Think about holding a penny between your butt cheeks and keeping your cage locked. All of that together, you're utilizing your whole body in the same way that you would be if you were running. So don't talk yourself out of a walk if you can do it. If it's accessible to you, if it's there, take a look at what we offer on the Rebuild Plan. Go download it. I don't care if you follow the plan completely. It's a daily reminder that if you can, please move, because that movement is going to do something for you. If you can't do exactly what you want to do, we get it. But walking doesn't have to suck. Audiobooks, man, I am so into audiobooks now. It isn't funny. If you are like, MK, I can't do this without some support, great. We will start an audiobook book club. We will start a walking club. You tell me what you need and we will provide it, because odds are whatever you're going to suggest is something that would benefit me right now too. And for $29 a month probably would not be too much trouble to put together. So you want to join a walking club, audiobook book club, or put on some sort of a Zoom where we can all talk to each other while we walk and feel like we're doing it together. It's amazing what we can do now after 2 years of COVID and trying to establish or retain connections. There's a lot of flexibility here, a lot of things that are possible. So let's try to explore those possibilities and get a workout in together, even if it's not specifically for the sake of a workout, if it's just for togetherness. There we go. So that is what I have to say about walking. I've been doing a lot of it, and I look forward to doing a whole lot more this week. Now, time for Ask Away. So first, we're going to start off with the weekly wins. Karina Terry enjoyed a massage after her long run this week. I'm jealous of that. Well done, Karina Terry. Nice. Everybody, if you can, massages are great. Treat yourself. They're better after the longest run of the week because a massage is going to break up muscles. And when you are doing harder or longer workouts, you're literally breaking down muscles in order to make them stronger. Let that process happen and then break your muscles down. So to say do it on Friday, but to loosen up before a long run is not what we want to do. We want to do exactly what Karina did. I'm jealous, and you deserve it. It's also the end of the school year, right? You're a teacher, if I remember correctly, Karina. Yee-haw for you. You deserve more than a massage. You deserve a massage, a margarita, and all the silence you can possibly get. Now, Erin Harkness, again, if y'all follow us, you might have seen it this week. Erin Harkness YOLO'd a 5K after not running for months due to health issues. She said that she was having a good day when she woke up that morning, had the opportunity, so figured why not. It went better than she expected, and she was happy to see she still had some residual fitness left over even after all that time away. Now, one of the things Erin is not telling you here, the two things she's not telling you, one is that she did this while pushing 100 pounds of children in a jogging stroller during that 5K. So that's like a 10K. That's like a half marathon. That's a lot of work. That's so much work. Give yourself credit for all that work. And two, she didn't really have that much time away. Erin's been walking a lot. She's making an effort to get out there. She has been judging herself by how she feels and by what she's been able to do in the past. And I think she's being way too hard on herself most of the time. And I know I say this to you guys in office hours. I say it all the time. You haven't lost as much fitness as you think you have. You're in a much better place than you think you are. You are better off wherever it is you think you are. I promise you're ahead of that. I'm not blowing smoke up your rear end. I don't do that. I mean it. And I'm really glad that this is why walking is a whole ass workout, why it matters so much. Give yourself credit for those times you go out. You might be able to YOLO a 5K. It's still impressive that you want to. 5Ks are hard. I might have to go YOLO a 5K in honor of you, Erin. There we go. Thinking of this week, Kristen Frazier has been also, like so many of us, managing just a lot of random health issues that are hard to pinpoint for the medical community, bouncing from specialist to specialist. And she's been sharing all of this quite openly in the Facebook page and on her personal Facebook page. So we wanted to keep her in mind this week, where she's got some more testing going on. And so thoughts, prayers, and good vibes all sent your way. We love you, Kristen. Now getting to the question. Debating on attempting a half marathon in the fall, but as a super slow runner, I've been hesitant to pull the trigger. My current long run is 2 to 2.5 hours and anywhere from 7 to 9 miles. What else should I be doing to prep, or is it just mental conditioning at this point? I should add that I've always wanted to do a half just to see if I can meet the challenge. First of all, you are ready to do a half. If you're getting 9 miles out of your long effort every week, if you're doing a long effort every week, you're right where you need to be. Go ahead and enter the half. Yeah, this is mental conditioning right here. So doing one thing continuously for about 3 hours is pretty hard. I'm not going to lie there. I can't tell you the last time I did. It was probably in January is the last time I did anything consecutively for 3 hours. But that's also the last time I was in a position to. And I was not outside. I was on Peloton doing that 500 miles in 8 days challenge, which is stupid, but I'll probably do it again because why not? So yeah, there's nothing here. When it comes to like training or preparation, I encourage people to get as much time on their week as possible, on their feet each week as possible. So if you are not out there 5 days a week, even if that 5th day is just like a 20-minute walk, again, those crucial adaptations to your tendons, joints, and ligaments make a big difference. So the more of those we can have, the better. But yeah, if your current long effort is you're already getting 9 miles out of it, you don't need to change anything. You're right where you need to be. Let's talk about, if you want to jump into office hours and talk about this a little bit more, I'm more than happy to. But I'm not, the only thing I would change, because I don't really know what else you're doing. is, again, making sure that you're getting enough during the week so that when you're out there, for you enjoy the event. And it's hard to enjoy anything when you don't feel good. And I know this from experience because I decided to YOLO a half twice in my life. Once when I was pregnant with Coach Cade, and I said I would never do it again until the next time. I didn't expect to do it because I was not as fit as I thought I was, not as ready as I thought I was, and really, really pregnant. So twice I did something really dumb. And I'm begging you to be smarter than I was because I want you to have a better experience than I did. But I also was not having any long efforts anywhere near as long as this. So let's talk about getting office hours. Remember, if you don't have the link, let me pull that up real quick and toss it in the comments here. That is what they're here for. And if you just want to come say hi and it's been a while, cool, go ahead and get an office hours. These rarely fill up, which is great. I love it. It leaves me a lot of time and we're very rarely pressed for time. I have a lot of different options during the week, and it's fun. I love catching up with you guys. I love hearing what you're doing. Even if you're not training with me, if we haven't connected in a while, I love that I'm still on your radar in some way, and I love hearing from you. So feel free to hop in office hours and we'll talk about what if any changes need to be made to your week. But yeah, it sounds like you're ready. You're readier than I am, that's for sure. Probably a whole lot fitter too. I'll take it. Either way, that's all we have for the week. Remember, give yourself credit for walking. It'll get you a lot farther, pun intended, than you think it will. And if you are one of the many people who decided to run this weekend and survived, congratulations. I hear that it was what was the headline I got from Google this morning. It was, yep, 1 runner dead and 16 hospitalized as humidity strikes the RBC Brooklyn half. Humidity is a big deal. Heat is a big deal. Take a look at the blog. I'll email to subscribers around a link to the blog post, Running in Humidity. Humidity is a really big deal. Take it seriously. You're actually going to, even though you're breathing in a lot of water, you're going to be dehydrating at a much more rapid rate. The science behind that's hard to grasp, and I'm not going to beat you over the head with it, but I will remind you that just because you are breathing in water doesn't mean your body's retaining any of it, or that what you're doing isn't incredibly hard. It is really hard. Give yourself credit. You're doing hard things. You're also coached and loved and winning in life, especially if you don't have a 4.5-year-old sleeping soundly on top of the stuff you need to get your work done for the rest of the week. Have a good one. I promise y'all, June is coming. It is coming.